If you're going to do business partnership, the worst possible way to do it is 50-50. That is the dumbest way you can ever do a business partnership. Somebody has to be the final decision maker. Even if it's 51-49, it's better than 50-50.
What if the LLC is going to be owned by multiple people? How does that work?
Great question. So this is a multi-member LLC versus a single-member LLC. So if you have a multi-member LLC, then basically the only difference is when you draft the operating agreement for the LLC, you determine who the members are and what percentage membership interest they own. Let's say 4 members and everyone owns 25%. Then in the operating agreement, you have all 4 members' names listed, and then it shows that they each own 25% of that LLC. And that's it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. And then from a tax standpoint, it's treated a little bit differently. So a single member LLC, if you earn, let's say, $100,000 a year, you own an LLC by yourself, you're a single member, and you own 100% of it. At the end of the year, you do your bookkeeping and whatever, you're left with a net profit of $100,000. Then on your personal tax return, on your 1040 Schedule C, you're going to reflect $100,000 income from whatever, XYZ LLC. So it just goes on your personal tax return. If you have more than one member, so in the example I gave, you have 4 members, everyone owns 25%, it's treated a little bit differently. The LLC has to file a partnership tax return, Form 1065, and then part of 1065 is issuing K-1s out to each member. And so in this case, let's say the whole LLC made $100,000, each member 25%. Each member is going to get a K-1 from that tax filing. It's going to show that the company made $100,000 and their share of that profits, their partnership share of those profits is $25,000. And then they use that K-1, they add it onto their part of their personal tax return. So it's kind of like getting a 1099 if you earn income there, but it's a K-1. It's more or less the same thing, except the K-1 is a partnership you own, whereas a 1099 is just a fee or a commission or interest or whatever that you earn from something. So there is a little bit more involved if you have more than one member. It's not that complicated, but it's a little bit more to add the partnership tax return in the K-1s.
Okay. This is a little off topic, but people usually have some opinions around partnerships. Do you have any particular opinions about partnerships?
I'm not a fan. I have had a couple of partnerships in the past. I had one partnership a long time ago, and it was okay. My work ethic was significantly more than my partner's work ethic, and it wasn't a question. It wasn't like we disagreed with each other. He literally came to me and said, "Can you buy me out? I don't want to work as hard as you." And so it ended fine. I bought him out, and it was fine. But during that period of time before I bought him out, there's always a little bit of animosity. Like, why am I working so much harder than this other guy? Is he not going to carry his weight? And then I've had another business partnership that I ended. It's about 3 or maybe almost 4 years now. I ended it. We had a really bad break. It was a really good friend of mine, and we were 50-50 business partners. And if you're going to do business partnership, the worst possible way to do it is 50-50. That is the dumbest way you can ever do a business partnership. If you're going to have a business partnership, somebody has to be the final decision maker. And even if it's 51-49, it's better than 50-50, because at least when you go into the partnership, you agree in advance, yes, I agree, you have final say. Or the other person, you say, yes, I agree, I have final say. So at least you have the determination at the beginning that you have decided somebody has final say, because 100% of the time in a 50-50 business partnership, there will be times where somebody works harder than somebody else. Somebody is doing more. Somebody is bringing in more sales. Somebody is spending more time at the office. And it's going to create maybe some jealousy, maybe some animosity between the two. It's going to be tough. I think business partnerships are very difficult. Maybe they're just difficult for me because I don't like people and people don't like me. I don't know.
That mirrors the sentiment I've heard from many people, and it makes perfect sense. It's a difficult thing to manage sometimes. Maybe we'll have another video. It'd be fun to have like a round table of just discussing partnerships and maybe some ideas on how to do it better.
Yeah. I've had a couple of others that were so-so. The last one I had that ended about almost 4 years ago was terrible. I mean, I was really good friends with a guy, and we haven't spoken since we split up. Like, we're like not friends at all. Like,
yeah, and that's too bad. That's too bad when that happens, because I try not to mix business and friends most of the time because of that reason.
If you hire a friend, like outsourcing, like if you outsource something to a friend and you have a fixed fee or however the payment structure is, but you have a fee, you pay them, they have a job. That's okay, but that's not a partnership. Like literally hiring a friend because you trust them to do the job you want them to do. And I think there's no problem with that. I wouldn't want to take that same friend and say, hey, you do such a great job. How about you come in as a partner in my business and I will give you a piece of equity and you can be like fully integrated into the business? Because I've done that before too. In another relationship that I had to split it up. It didn't go badly. Like we just decided it didn't work anymore, but still it didn't work. Like it didn't work out. I mean, we're still great friends. So it doesn't have to end badly, but there's always going to be a problem with business partners. Always. Somebody is always going to feel like they're doing more than the other one. 100%. And it could change. Like maybe this month I feel like I'm doing way more and you're being a lazy ass. And then 6 months from now, it's flipped. You think you're doing more and I'm being the lazy ass, right? So like it can ebb and flow like that. But that just means you're going to have conflict multiple times during the year now. It can be ongoing situations.